Hey guys, how you doing? So today I'd like to talk about the ketogenic diet, or keto, a really popular diet at the moment, how it works and some misconceptions. So the basic idea of keto is that you eat high fat, low carb and moderate protein. And basically because you don't have the carb sources, your body has to break down fat into ketones, which is an energy source that the body can use. So many people have had a lot of success with this diet. However, it's not usually for the reasons that they think. So people will say that because they are using more fat, they're losing more fat from their body. However, this is wrong. So how does the ketogenic diet actually work? So in all cases, as we know, to lose weight, we need to follow the weight loss principle, which is you need to consume fewer calories than your body needs. That's as simple as it gets. No diet will work if you do not consume fewer calories than your body needs. And the way that the ketogenic diet does this is that it creates a rule where you can't eat certain foods, so you're cutting out carbohydrates. So it's not that carbohydrates are bad or make you put on weight, but creating this rule where you eat a high fat and moderate protein diet means that you can't eat a lot of foods which were probably making you put on weight in the first place. So high fat and high carb foods. So these are the foods that are probably making you put on weight, probably the foods you're eating when you get cravings, and the really high calorie foods basically, and the foods that are delicious and taste nice. So for example, cake, ice cream, chocolate, biscuits, donuts, all these things have high carbs and high fat in them. And even stuff like bread, pasta and rice. And it's not that these carby foods are bad for you or make you put on weight. It's because they have quite a small volume, so you need to eat more to feel full. So it's the amount of calories you're getting in just by eating more of them. So if you create the rule where you say, I can only eat high fat foods, it cuts all these out. You can't eat those things. You have to be more selective in the foods that you eat. And the foods that usually have high fats are usually more natural because it's only the processed foods that we have both these things together, the carbs and the fats. So cutting out the high fat and high carb processed foods and eating more high fat and moderate protein foods, you end up eating more meats, more eggs and stuff, which are hard to consume a lot. They keep you full and they satisfy your needs. So more often than not, you end up being in a calorie deficit and losing weight. So the big misconception with keto is that just because you're using fat does not mean that you are losing fat. If you're still eating more than your body needs on keto, you will be using the fat that you're consuming as energy, not what's on your body, and you'll still be putting on weight if it's more than what you need. And another misconception is that keto helps you lose weight faster. And that is true to a degree, but it's about the words that we use. So I said weight there, and yes, it helps us lose weight faster, but not fat. So let me explain that. So remember, really when we diet, we want to lose fat and not weight because our bodies are made up of a lot of things. And when we measure our weight, we're measuring everything in our body. We want to lose body fat. Now with keto at the beginning, you end up losing a lot of carb stores because you're basically burning off the carbs that are left over in your liver and your muscles. Now for a 70 kilogram person, that's 154 pounds, we store around 500 grams of carbs in our liver and muscles. Now for every 1 gram of carbs, we store 3 grams of water. So that means for 500 grams of carbs, we're actually storing 2 kilograms of weight overall. So when you are on keto, consuming low carbs, your body burns off those carbs pretty quickly. So you drop those 500 grams, but not only 500 grams, but the water that goes with it. So you're actually dropping 2 kilograms pretty fast. So when you do start a keto diet, you burn off those 500 grams pretty quick. And another really important thing to consider is that carbohydrates only have 4 calories per gram. So in 500 grams of carbohydrates in your muscles, there's 2,000 calories. However, fats have 9 calories per gram. So for 500 grams of fat, if you were going to drop 500 grams of fat, there'd be 4,500 calories in it. So it takes a lot more time to burn 500 grams of fat than it does of carbohydrates. So those carbohydrates go pretty quickly, and you're dropping those carbohydrates, the 500 grams, and the three times more of water really quickly. So it's a really quick process. So you drop a lot of weight very quickly, which leads to the misconception that you drop a lot more weight quicker with keto and it's a better diet. But remember that this weight is not fat, and as soon as you eat any carbs again, they'll be stored in the muscles and the liver, and you'll put the weight back on, the weight, not fat. So would I recommend the ketogenic diet? So the keto diet can be a difficult one to follow, to stick to, basically because it makes it more difficult to eat with friends and out socially, just through the restrictive nature, so you can't have carbs. So the foods you select and the foods you eat have to be high fat and moderate protein. So if you can find those and you enjoy those eating out and you're not influenced by other people, then it could be a diet that you could follow. However, remember, there's nothing special and nothing magic about the keto diet. It just helps you be in a calorie deficit by creating that rule where you can't eat those processed foods. So if that's something that you think would work for you and would fit in with your lifestyle and you think that you can enjoy and keep up, then it might work for you. However, if you're just going to be using it for a short-term diet and waiting for the day where you can stop and go back to how you were eating before, it's not going to work for you, because as soon as you take away that rule where you only eat high fat and moderate protein and start eating the processed foods again, you're going to put the weight back on, the fat back on, because you've taken away the rule which helped you eat in a certain way and you've gone back to eating how you were before. You've not learned anything, basically. And remember, as soon as you start eating carbs, even if it's for one day, you'll put that carbohydrate back into the muscle on the liver and the water that goes along with it, and you'll put on around sort of 2 kilograms because of that. And remember, it's not fat, it's weight, but a lot of people judge their process not by their size, but what the scale says. So if you're that kind of person as well, that probably won't help with your the mental side and how you think about your weight. So that's my basic intro on how keto works and if you should do it or not. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and as always, like, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one.